It's now time for our feature presentation. Spoiler warnings. Our first review, Back to the Future 1, 1985.
Mom? Had a horrible nightmare. Dreamed that I went back in time.
Wow. Safe and sound now, back in good old 1955.
1955? Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
Hey, McFly!
This is a big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life.
You're my mom. You're my mom.
Wait, 21 gigawatts! Marty, we're sending you back to the future!
Were you even born yet? No, I wasn't born for another 9 years after this movie. Well, Dwayne, people consider Back to the Future the greatest movies of ever made. I've heard that people consider it the greatest trilogy, and they consider, one of the greatest things ever. I don't know if I go that far, but it's pretty damn good. Like, I can see why people love these films. It was an absolute blast. Dwayne, what you think of Back to the Future 1? And, where did you first see it?
So it came out in 85.
Yeah.
So I probably saw it like in 86. Either on HBO or a VHS rental, whatever. I watched it, and I remember the first moment to watch it when my friend was like, you gotta pay a lot of attention to it. A lot of the jokes are, talking about timelines, stuff like that. And, it's a really intelligent comedy. I'm like a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I watched it. I enjoyed it as a kid. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I still think it's a really good movie. It holds up today as a really good movie. There's a couple scenes in there that are don't hold up as well,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But it's a really good movie. I always liked it. It's one of my favorite comedies. Now, as a trilogy, be one of the best? I don't think so. That's just me, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it is a really great, number one, is it actually a really great sci-fi comedy, and I liked it a lot.
The problem with trilogies is they're not all, there's usually one stinker in it. Now, this one does have one, I think, that is lesser than the other two, but it's definitely not this first one I want to review here. We'll get to that later. The first one was actually really great. You kind of start off, you get to see Marty, and he's kind of, I guess he works. Later explain how he knows the dog. Does he work? Is he like an assistant, or are they just buddies?
They're just friends, I guess.
Okay. Alright, well, he's just a buddy with a... How old is Doc Brown, too? That's another thing. I was like, he looks like he's... Christopher Lloyd looks like he's been 50 or 60 for 50 years.
I take offense to that. 'Cause I'm 51. Almost 2.
Okay, well, you didn't look like this in 85, did you?
No.
Okay. He looks the exact same throughout his whole career. He's still alive as of 2025. He just was in Nobody 2, which I'm really excited to watch, actually, because I love the first one. Yeah, I mean, Marty's looking for his buddy Doc Brown. You kind of meet all these characters, and one thing they're really good at is world building. You kind of get, and then I think all the characters stand out, which is also a great thing they do in this movie. It's just absolute blast, and then they kind of what's this guy's name? The guy who directed Shaun of the Dead. Oh hell! Now I'm thinking of, I can't think of his name. Edgar Wright.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Edgar Wright. I think that's his name. The guy who made Shaun of the Dead. I think he probably may have borrowed some drugs, because it's just they basically spend the good first 20-30 minutes just kind of building up and showing you stuff, and then later on in the film they play that back a little bit, and kind of like in Shaun of the Dead, you see that too, where they show you things and then it shows you how it changes throughout the movie, or things come back a lot. This movie's really good. I love that. I love that kind of style of movies. It makes you pay attention, makes you care, makes you want to follow along. There's so many movies where none of that's going down, and you just do not care about anything. This movie's fun from start to finish. Absolute blast. I love Marty. I love Doc Brown. They're such great characters. I had a blast with them. And then you got the bully Biff. What you think of him?
I like Biff.
You like Biff?
Yeah.
Old school asshole jerk.
Yep. Old school bully.
80s had a great asshole bullies. They perfected asshole bullies in the 80s.
Robert Downey Jr. in Weird Science.
I've never seen that.
He's a good jerk.
Is he?
Yep. And who's the poor guy that played Virgil? Or he was also in Weird Science. He was the older brother.
Huh.
He played Chip.
We have to watch that one. I've never seen it. A
Yeah.
lot of 80s movies I haven't seen. I guess Doc Brown, this one, they just kind of want to go back to the future just to say they can do it. Right? I guess Marty's what, the guinea pig? Or no, the terrorists come, which makes Marty. One thing they're also good at is building tension. And especially in the opening, when they first use the time machine, at the very end of the movie, they are so good at like building tension, and there's a lot on the line, and time is of essence here, and they're really good at that. And all three of these movies, really. So Marty goes back in time, and he, I guess he's going around, and he meets his dad, meets his mom. Turns out his mom has like a huge crush on him and is trying to sleep with him. That can't be good. And his dad was supposed to meet his mom by getting hit by Marty's grandfather's car, and they take him home and kind of that's how they meet. But Marty fucks it up, and he's the one who gets hit by the car and messes all this up, and he's got to go back and fix it or he won't be born. So he's got to get his dad to fall in love. Also, Biff, old school Biff, is here too, being a whole asshole to the whole gang. Just a whole bunch going on, a lot of fun. Dwayne, you like all this?
Yeah, like you're saying, there's a lot of world building, there's a lot of character building. You meet his family, you see what they're like. You know, they're kind of like an all-American family. You know, middle class probably,
Yeah.
Maybe a little lower middle class, something like that. And Biff's like the guy who is like picking on his dad and stuff. Then he goes back in time and he sees that Biff has always been a bully and everything. Like you said, some things happen and it changes the outcome in the future. Then we actually get back to the present. They made so much changes that actually the dad's more of the leader and Biff is like his I won't say his friend, but the guy that comes over and polishes his car for him. Like, Mr. McFly, your mail's here, you know, that kind of stuff. So I enjoyed it a lot. I said it's a really good movie. There's a lot of comedy in it, a lot of good things. Billy Zane is in it. I didn't realize that until after I started watching the second one.
Was he one of Biff's henchmen?
He's one of Biff's henchmen, yes.
Okay.
Back in the 50s. Yeah. So I didn't notice that to the second one. I went back to rewatch a little bit of the first one. It's like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah, this one is, they just tie everything in this movie has purpose, and it connects later, and I love that. That's what I was trying to explain earlier, except I kind of like bumbled that up like a baboon. But now I'm able to think about it. Yeah, they're able to show a lot of things, and they make it come back. Everything just has point. Nothing's like, there's no wasted motion in this film, which is awesome. Like you were saying earlier, he's able to fix everything and go back in time. When we go back in time, a little bit's changed. They're a little bit wealthier. His dad, he helped build his dad's confidence. His dad's super confident. And now that Biff kind of works for him, which is probably the one thing I didn't like about the movie, because towards the end, when they're stuck in 1955, Biff basically has his mom in a car and is like trying to sleep with her forcefully, and before George McFly comes out and knocks his ass out, go in the future, he's working for him. If I had a guy who tried to like force his way on my wife, I probably wouldn't have him working for me in my house nor near my wife and kids. That's just me. That didn't make any sense. Dwayne, you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. They probably did it just for the movie to show the difference that you know, who punches who knocks who out makes a difference in the storyline.
Yeah, he works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is a cool ending, and I do like that. And then at the end, Doc Brown wants to go to the future, and
It sets up
part 2.
part 2.
Now, do you think they were planning on making a part 2 from the original?
I don't believe they were. I think I read up a little bit that said they weren't planning on making it because they weren't
Yeah.
sure how this movie was going to do. But it actually did really well. I remember it being very popular.
Is
at the
the
time,
thing
so-
it made is the most money that year, 1985, probably
Probably.
best film of the year, money wise. So yeah, it did really great in the box office. Also, let's talk about Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown. I
Sure.
absolutely love Doc Brown, and in fact, I love every movie he's in. He stands out. Like I love him in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the Addams Family movies. You know, just everything he's in. He's just awesome. And here, he's just super energetic and like. Oh, I heard that he when he got the script, when they asked him to be in it, he threw it away, and he says, "Nah, I kind of want to take a break." And then like his wife found it in the trash, and she kind of like, "Hey, maybe you should read it." And then he read it, and when he read it, he goes, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna be in this movie. This movie's pretty good." And he wanted to go over the wall as Doc Brown. That's what he was really looking for. No holds barred, just super energy on that, and it shows. He's like. And obviously, if you guys are Rick and Morty fans, this was 100% the inspiration for that show. Is so obvious that they are basically basing it on this film here. All right, Dwayne, what you think of this movie? Final grades, thoughts?
Thoughts about it. One thing I was going to talk about is this is made for kids, kind of. You know, it's not a bad movie at all. It's not a
Yeah.
whole lot of language and stuff. There is a couple of racist remarks in there that I kind of caught when I watched it as an adult that maybe I didn't think about as a kid.
Yeah,
But I did see a little bit in there.
it was 1955.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but so something that maybe they said back in the 80s or back in the 50s wouldn't fly now, and you know that I would watch out for that part in the movie, you know, with kids around and stuff like that, people around, but not counting that one part, it's actually a really good movie. I enjoyed it as a kid. When I rewatched it again a couple times since then, I rewatched it again last week for our review, and I think it's just a really great movie. Like you said, front to back, great movie. Love Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown. I'm really, really, really gonna give this a 9 out of 10.
Ooh, Dwayne, I've never
Yeah,
heard.
this is one of my favorites.
I never heard you really give anything that high.
First, Back to the Future, one of my favorite movies.
All right, well, Dwayne, let's talk about my pros and cons for Back to the Future. My pros: no wasted motion, everything connects. Such great characters, such great world building. I love Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. My cons: none. Minus maybe the Biff working for them after he tried to rape his mom. Alright guys, I'm gonna give Back to the Future 10 great Scots out of 10.